We chase after fleeting pleasures, mistaking them for happiness, while the true source of contentment lies within. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, understood this millennia ago. He argued that our constant pursuit of external validation and material possessions blinds us to the inherent control we have over our own minds and reactions. We become slaves to external circumstances, buffeted by the winds of fortune, when in reality, we possess the anchor of our own will. Seneca writes with piercing clarity in Letters from a Stoic, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing." The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. But do we truly believe this? Or do we continue chasing shadows, convinced that one more achievement, one more possession, one more moment of pleasure will finally silence the unrest within? Consider the daily grind. The alarm blares, jolting us into a cycle of tasks, deadlines, and social obligations. We meticulously manage our schedules, our finances, even our diets, believing this external control will bring us peace. Yet how often do we feel truly at peace? We are bombarded by information, by the words and displays of others, fostering envy and inadequacy. This manufactured discontent is a powerful control mechanism, keeping us perpetually striving for something just out of reach, something we're told will finally make us happy. Why do we surrender our inner peace so readily? Seneca warns us, "You are arranging what lies in fortune's control and abandoning what lies in yours." What are you looking at? To what goal are you straining? The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. Imagine a merchant in ancient Rome rising before dawn to chase greater profits in the Forum. He expands his trade, loans at high interest, and acquires finer homes and more luxuries. Each new gain brings a brief thrill, yet anxiety soon follows. Fear of shipwrecks, dishonest partners, or imperial whims. His nights grow restless, his body weakens from excess, his relationships become transactional. He measures his worth by his ledgers and the esteem of peers. Is this living, or merely waiting to live? Seneca would confront him directly. The happy man is satisfied with his present situation, no matter what it is. How many of us live like this merchant today? We accumulate, compare, and postpone contentment, only to discover that fortune's gifts come with hidden chains. Or picture the ambitious official navigating the corridors of power. He flatters superiors, schemes for advancement, and sacrifices rest and integrity for status. When promotion arrives, the hunger does not cease. It shifts to the next honor. Envy of those above him poisons his days. Fear of those below erodes his nights. Seneca, who knew court life intimately, observed how such men become slaves to opinion. A man is as miserable as he thinks he is, he reminds us. The official's misery stems not from his rank, but from his unchecked judgment. That external rank defines him. What if he turned inward instead? What if he judged success by virtue rather than titles? Seneca's message is brutal in its simplicity. We are not victims of fate, but often architects of our own misery through our unchecked desires and our susceptibility to external pressures. The true freedom lies in recognizing this, in understanding that while we cannot control events, we absolutely can control our judgment of them. This is the essence of self-mastery, the refusal to be a puppet dancing to the strings of society or our own unexamined impulses. To feel truly human is to embrace this internal sovereignty, to find strength not in accumulating more, but in needing less. Have you ever paused to examine the architecture of your own discontent? Trace it back. How often does it arise from desiring what you do not have, or fearing the loss of what you cling to? Seneca cuts to the heart. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. The merchant with overflowing warehouses can starve in spirit, while the philosopher with little lives in abundance. Consider the soldier hardened by distant campaigns, marching through hostile lands, facing wounds and scarcity. Upon return, he confronts indifference at home, delayed rewards, and a body marked by time. Many grow bitter, raging against ingratitude and fate. But what does rage change? One veteran chooses the Stoic path. He cannot command honors or reverse scars, but he can tend his garden, instruct his sons in courage, and review each day with honesty. Where did I act with virtue? Where did I falter? His quiet dignity inspires those around him. Difficulties, as Seneca taught, strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Reflect on your own trials, a lost harvest, a betrayed trust, a failing health. Do these events break you, or do they reveal the strength of your inner citadel? Seneca urges us to rehearse such misfortunes. Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare. Is this the condition that I feared? Through voluntary simplicity, we discover we need far less than we imagine. Think of the mother struck by profound loss, the death of a child to illness, a grief as old as humanity. Anguish threatens to drown her. She withdraws from the living, cursing the cruelty of existence. Yet what power does fortune truly hold over the mind? A wise friend shares Seneca's insight. Death is nature's inevitable decree. You cannot undo what is done, but you can honor memory through love, resilience, and teaching virtue to those who remain. Gradually, she redirects her pain into purpose. The sorrow remains, but it no longer tyrannizes her spirit. She finds Seneca's peace that is won for all time by conquering inner turmoil. How often do we let past suffering or future dread steal the present? Seneca admonishes, the greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. The craftsman obsessed with rivals loses joy in his craft. The aging person tormented by fading youth clings desperately to appearances. The official who trades integrity for favor lives in constant fear of exposure. Each constructs their own prison. Will you continue building yours? Seneca offers liberation. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. And you act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. We fear loss as if immortal in our holdings, yet treat time, the one true scarcity, as endless. In-depth study of a human life under this lens reveals a clear pattern. Early years are often filled with restless striving, chasing education, status, family, and wealth. Middle years bring the illusion of arrival, only for new desires to emerge. Later years force confrontation. What remains when health, status, or loved ones diminish? The person anchored in Seneca's wisdom ages with grace. They need less because they have cultivated the riches within: wisdom, equanimity, and self-mastery. The slave who governs his judgments becomes freer than his master, enslaved by passions. The farmer ruined by drought rebuilds with patience. knowing effort is his and reign is not. The student mocked for simplicity outlasts the fleeting pleasures of peers. Are you ready to live immediately, to stop arranging fortune's domain and claim your own? This internal sovereignty transforms the daily grind. The alarm sounds, yet you meet the day with deliberate calm. Obligations come, but you fulfill them without resentment. Others display their lives, yet envy finds no foothold. You act with virtue, rest satisfied with sufficiency, and discover what Seneca promised: contentment that no external force can revoke. The question remains for each of us: will you remain a slave to fleeting pleasures and external winds, or will you seize the anchor of your own will? Seneca's voice echoes across centuries. The choice and the freedom have always been yours.